rare earth elements are a critical part of the defense industry in terms of they're used in a variety of applications, whether it's radars or whether it's sensors, whether it's missiles or weapons, bombs, smart bombs rather, and then display systems like multifunction displays. In a lot of areas it is there. Actually, it's quite extensive in the applications in defense.
Particularly on stages like you've been explaining that.
Yeah. I explained that primarily to indicate you need to identify critical, technologies or materials which there is no option but to ensure the supply chain is always safe and secure. Correct? Ultimately, of course, the ideal situation is that we have everything made within the country, but that's not always possible economically and viable. But we should ensure the supply chain is in our control.
Carbon component,
Yeah.
is it available in our indigenous?
We are doing a lot of research in that. So, a lot of tests have been done, but we are still not at a stage where it's indigenized fully. Yeah, that's right.
Part of HAL, which has been on the production, and even the Indian government is a process to give them a clearance to the production of aircraft. The components which has been used, where you see this supply chain being made?
Well, HAL always has had problems with its supply chain because there's so much of import dependency on multiple components. Much of it is indigenized in production, but even when you say it is produced within the country, the raw material then comes from outside. So there is always a supply chain connection to, import supply chains. So that is something that needs to be addressed.
As part of smart bombs, which you've been saying that in morning session, we came to know that in Operation Sindoor, also these smart bombs, which is used by Indian defense, where it has been used in against Pakistan. Why is this going on? And how is this our indigenous technology being used?
Well, quite a lot of weapons that we've used are also, a lot of indigenous weapons are used, but even indigenous weapons have imported components. And that is why, so particularly when you use sensors and when you use smart systems, then they will have the rare earths, incorporation into it. That is one. Second is your big weapons like fired from the Rafale, the Scalp and the Hammer, long-range missiles, etc. They're all imported weapons. So they have their applications as well.
Yeah. For India, the government have launched the National Critical Mission minerals.
Yes.
Why you see this IREL laying in this mission? And,
they are the foundational guys because they are the ones who will develop the, mine the ores and give it to you. Correct? So it's better late than never. So the government has made the strategic plan, bringing in a lot of private sector into it. Bringing in a hub and spoke model in stitching together, research institutions and academic institutions together. So a lot of research will go on, correct? R&D to be able to develop our own machinery, our own technologies, or substitute the technologies on which we are dependent on machinery imports and permanent magnet imports. But all that is, what they've done, good thing is that they've allocated a significant amount of funds. It's almost $5 billion over 7 years. So that should make some results, give some results, but it needs to be done.
As a part of PSU, other than the NCM, that could play a role on NCM?
I think we need to get out of this old archaic idea of looking at PSU as the only agency for the government and others are not. No. See, your industrial ecosystem combines with PSUs who came first because the country was poor at that time. Only state could create the industries, correct? Now they have the best of the infrastructure, but simultaneously private sectors come up. So now you need to have an equal playing field for both and have partnership between public and private sectors to be able to address problems like this.
On the part of rare earth material, we used to get to know that it is China which has been controlling and a major part of the thing. How do you see ourselves right now and what's our future goal to be? And particularly, which is the country which we can expect or India should partner with in an argument with NCMM programs?
Well, right now we've just realized that we need to create capabilities much more than what we have right now, right? So there is a very big mountain to climb. So let's focus on that first, rather than focusing on we'll become rare earths leader later. That is, we can see that later. In terms of partnership, yes, we have to work with friends, Japan, Australia, Singapore, Korea, right, US, UK. So these are all countries with whom we have industry and trade relations. But nobody gives you technology. So let's remember that, whether friend or enemy, nobody will give you critical technology. It's business. And they're not going to part with technology easily. So the only way to do that is, while you take the technology from them in terms of buying components, focus on your education, research, and your own development.